everybody, welcome back for Weekend Jewelry School. I know it's a little bit late, but it's Thanksgiving weekend, so it's been a little bit busy. We've had a lot of family in town, we've got a lot of snow outside, so it's been a little hectic. One of the people that I'm really grateful for is Kurt Fargo at Micro Tools. Now, those of you guys who don't know, Kurt and Micro Tools is solely responsible for the amazing camera setup that I have now to help bring a very high quality product to you guys for the videos. So thank you, Kurt, for all of your hard work and your help, and I cannot wait to do more with you. If you guys are going to be in Tucson or anything like that, make sure you stop by the Micro Tools booth. I will be there. We actually have a couple booths, so stay tuned for more notices on those. And we'll explain who's going to be where and when. Now, one of the things that Kurt is doing at Micro Tools is putting on a Cyber Monday and Tuesday sale this week, starting tonight. So it's actually Cyber Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, where we are putting on sale the disc cutters from Pepe Tools. These are the best disc cutters. I love these cutters, and I've had the opportunity to bring them out and introduce them as they have come out. So make sure you check out some of my other videos. I will include links down in the description of the video, as well as links to a fantastic deal right now going on. But before we get into all of that, let's look and see what we can do with disc cutters, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a very simple pair of earrings using them. Check it out now. Here you can see a number of different items. I have a bracelet, I have pendants, I have earrings, and again, more bracelets. And all of these used a disc cutter in one form or another. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. You'll also notice a few other techniques have been employed on some of these as well. So first, I have just a basic disc, and in this case, I've also created a little washer. And that is something that you can use just to add a little bit of visual element to that. Other things that I really liked to do when I very first got started was to use a disc cutter and then just simply solder a bezel onto that and use that as kind of a back plate. And then I could do some different things to add a little bit more visual element in the case of like this bracelet, where then I soldered on an additional back plate and it became our bracelet topper. Now, when you think of using a disc cutter, a lot of times people stop here. They'll cut out a disc and that's what they go with. But don't forget, you can use your disc cutter to create negative space as well. And that can then become your visual element. And obviously, if you're cutting out a hole in this, that means that you have a little disc that you can use somewhere else. So for instance, let's say that I cut out a small disc here. Well, maybe those discs then get domed or shaped or whatever else, and they become a bead component. I can also take this little disc another step further and dome this in a dapping block or some other tool like that to give it even more depth and dimension and shape. In this case, I've used the oval disc cutter and I have just created one link, but then you can see that I've added other elements to this to run through it and create a chain for another stylized bracelet. So next, let's talk about the two disc cutters that are available. And I like how Pepe Tools has done this, where they've created a holder for everything. So you've got all of your cutters or your punches here, plus then we have the cutting base here, and it just stands right here. Everything stays together nice and neat. So here we've got the round disc cutter. We have 14 different sizes of punches. The oval disc cutter, we have 6 different sizes of punches. Now let me talk a little bit about my favorite features. Now this disc cutter happens to be one of the very first that they came out with when they did their new design. So you'll notice that it looks a little different than this one. Well, the newer disc cutters all kind of have this black oxide on them. That's going to help prevent rust, and it also makes it a little easier to see the different markings on this. You can also see here everything is marked all the way around also. So I really like that because on my base, all of my punches are also marked with their sizes. So it's very easy to pick your corresponding piece. Other features that I really like are the metal knob, and this is our up down. And what this is going to do is allow us to hold our metal tightly into place so that it doesn't bounce out when we strike the hammer on that punch and the metal would move. In this case, that doesn't happen because of how the punches or the cutter is designed. And one of my very, very, very favorite features is the bottom of this. See this little lip here? This gives us a full punch clearance system. In my original disc cutters, whether it be some of my more economy cutters or even my original Pepe cutter, the punch would go down, and because it would just kind of stop there, you'd have to lift this up and then knock your punch through because it just kind of sticks there. Well, that is definitely not the case on this one. You hammer your punch through, your disc and your punch both come out. I like the fact that this knob is metal and it's low profile. This is really good because it means I can use this in my hydraulic press or even an arbor press or something like that, and I don't have to worry about hitting a plastic handle. And that's actually kind of important because I teach a lot of classes and sometimes the students' strikes are not as accurate as my own. In addition to the cutter and the base and everything like that, you're also going to receive a urethane pad with each of the cutters. This is really nice because it kind of helps cushion when you hammer this punch through your piece and helps it so that it doesn't damage your piece as much, and it also will protect your cutting edge of your cutter as well. So I want to show you guys on this punch. Now you can kind of see that there's a little bit of kind of like a hazy little film right there around that outer edge. And what it is some of my lube. Now the lubricant is a really good thing, and it also comes with your cutter, because what you're going to do is you want to just run the edge of that cutter right there. Doesn't take much. You don't need to dig it in or anything like that, but sometimes it will leave a little bit of that lubricant on here. To remove that, you could just take a little bit of denatured alcohol and wipe that off if you find that there's a lot build-up there. Well, now that I've got this lubricated, what I would do is put it in, put my metal in there, and then hammer that through. Now another thing I want to point out about any of my cutters, because sometimes people will call me and they will kind of panic a little bit. And I think that this will be kind of hard to see on the video, but my cutters actually kind of sit at an angle here. And that is because we have a 17-degree angle on the cutter itself. And what that does is allows for one point of the cutter to begin cutting through our sheet, and then the rest of it will just kind of follow through with that. And that means that we don't have to put in as much effort to shear through our metal as we would with a flat bottomed cutter. So how does this work? So let's say that we've got some patterned metal here and we want to cut out 2 3/4 inch discs. So I have the 3/4 inch punch here that I'm going to use. Now I happen to have another piece here, and one of the things that's really good about this is that these two items here are the same gauge. So I'm actually going to use one as a shim on the other side of my cutter. So what I'm going to do is line my metal up, get it where I want it to be, and then I will tighten down the cutter. So I can no longer pull this out, which is nice because that also means it's not going to move when it comes time to push this through. So then I'm going to insert my punch. Now notice that there is a cutting edge and there is a striking edge. There happens to be a little bevel here, and all of your punches are going to kind of have that. So in the case of the oval, that's really easy to see where the cutting edge is versus your striking edge. But on the round, a lot of times people will put them in upside down and then they damage the cutting edge. So you want to be careful of that. Also, the cutting edge has kind of a little fatter bottom than the striking edge itself. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2-pound brass hammer. Now you could also do this with a 1-pound brass hammer, but it might take you a little more effort, and that's okay too. Just figure out which works best for you. The thing you want to make sure you have is a brass mallet. You don't want to do this with a steel mallet. Your punch is also steel, and you can actually damage either both the hammer and the punch, and you just want to be really careful of that. So a brass hammer is definitely something that you want. And you'll notice the end of this is pretty is pretty hashed, and that's okay because the whole purpose of this hammer is to strike these through. So to get this disc cut out, I'm just going to give at least one good whack, if not maybe 2 or 3. There we go. And there's my disc. So let's say I want another one of those. Very, very simple. I'm just going to open up my cutter. I'm going to move my pattern in here and retighten and repeat. And I now have my 2 discs. Now what I did was I actually repeated this process with some 20 gauge sterling patterned silver. And I want to make a little pair of drop earrings. So the next thing that I need to do is punch a hole into each one of these. And for this, I'm going to use a pair of hole punching pliers. Now this is really simple to do, and maybe what you might want to do is just use a Sharpie to create a dot where you want to punch your hole. Going to line up my hole punching pliers, make sure everything looks good, and then press it through. And I'm going to repeat. And now I'll repeat that process here on my copper ones. So the next thing I need to do is open up a jump ring. I'm going to insert both of my discs. And then I'll close that jump ring up. For the final step, I just need to punch some holes and put in an ear wire. So now you see here, this is a very similar style, but what you also might notice is that there's kind of a dome shape to these. And that is because I have used a dapping block to first give that a little bit of shape and then added all of my elements. Now I've had the great fortune of working with Micro Tools, and the Micro Tool website is toolcandystore.com, because where else would you shop other than the Tool Candy Store? That's the best place to be, right? So we actually have these on sale right now for Cyber Monday and into Tuesday. So check these out right now. The oval disc cutter is normally about $330, and I've actually never seen the price this low before, but it is $230. Free shipping in the lower 48, so the continental US, and we will even throw in a free 2-pound brass mallet. The round disc cutter is on sale as well. It's only $190. Also has the free shipping in the lower 48 states, and it comes also with that 2-pound brass mallet. Now the free shipping alone is a huge deal because these things have some weight to them. So I highly suggest, if a disc cutter is on your list or has been something that you've been looking at, I would highly suggest you look at these deals, because like I said, I have actually not seen, especially the oval disc cutter, at this kind of a price, and I've never seen it come with the brass mallet. So be sure you jump on that pretty quick, because this deal expires on Tuesday, December 3rd at midnight Pacific time. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. If you find these videos helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so that you get notifications. I have a lot of really fun tool reviews coming up. A lot of really cool stuff coming. We've got a studio full of brand new tools that I cannot wait to share with you, including where we work through setting up a bench with lighting and chairs. All of that's coming up within the next couple of weeks. I will see you guys in the next couple of days. Have a good one.